Hey everybody, Sasha Lagris here. I'm not dead, so I thought I'd bring you a quick tutorial while I'm in the process of making Tom 2.0 here. So today I'm going to cover shaving for fur. So here's one that's already been shaved, and here's the one that's not shaved. So I'll teach you how to make Muppet monster hands into nice fursuit hands. Or at least in this case it'll be hands. You can do it for shirts or heads or anything you want. So, I'm going to tell you what materials you need and we'll go through and I'll show you how I do it my style. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that you'll want some form of respirator or face mask and even a pair of goggles or some kind of safety eyewear, because fur-induced sinus infections really suck. So I would advise you at least cover your face with something like a bandana or like a cheap paper face mask, just anything, because breathing in fur is not healthy and it's not fun either, coughing it up 2 hours later. Okay, so the tools you'll be needing is obviously your piece of fur. In this case I have a hand that I just cut out. So you'll also need a slicker brush, just any slicker brush will do. A good pair of scissors. I'm using my fabric scissors. A secondary pair of scissors, which is smaller for detail cuts. Obviously your eyewear and your face mask. A nice flat surface to shave on. I have a nice cutting board underneath it so I don't scratch up the table. A good razor. This is mine. It's a wall and it has different color keys and it comes with a bunch of teeth. A wide assortment of teeth that you can put on it, and it'll prevent you from cutting the fur shorter than you actually need to. My favorite one is this one. It is the smallest one they have, which is 1/16 of an inch. And it's really nice for short pile cutting. Okay, as for optional tools, I have a silicone brush because when you cut the fur, it will create tiny bits of fur in there, and this will help brush it out and get all the little bits out of it. I also have a boar bristle brush. Also does the same thing as the silicone brush, but different kind of thing. And another optional tool will be a metal comb, just to get the fur bits out of your slicker brush and your other brushes. It's not necessary, it's just nice. Okay, so go ahead and right now put on your face mask and your eyewear. I'm not going to, so you'll actually be able to understand me. What we're going to do first is go ahead and fluff up the pile a little bit and just trim it down, so that way the razor doesn't have to cut through mass amounts of fur and get jammed and stuck in it and create bald spots, and you don't want that. So just go ahead and gently, don't go crazy, just sort of fluff up the edges and trim it down a little bit to a slightly higher than where you want it. And if you're not experienced with cutting fur, then just do a little bit at a time, because you can't put it back. You can always take it away, but you can't ever put it back. So just make little cuts and move the fur out of the way so you can see what you're doing. You can even periodically brush it if it feels like it's getting in the way. And just trim it out. Okay, I think I got it about to where I'd like it to be. So go ahead and take your slicker brush and just go over it. Get all those little bits of fur out of there. And there we go. Move all this fluff out of the way. So here we got the first trimming. It's okay. It's not the best, but at least it will help the razor not jam up and get stuck up with fur so quickly. Okay, now the next step is to take your razor, and I would recommend using a guard if you have no experience or you're not sure, you're really scared about screwing up your project. Put whatever the highest guard you want that will cut the fur on there. I'm going to use no guard because I know what I'm doing, and I've done this many times before. So what we're going to do is just slowly go over the fur a little bit at a time, and it'll slowly pick up all the bits that are raised up too high and uneven. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to put my respirator on so I don't get fur everywhere in my mouth. So let's do it. Okay, now that we've got the secondary trimming done, go ahead and do the slicker brush again. And you can repeat these steps as many times as you need to get it down to where you want it to be. So, and there we have it. Another shaved hand paw. Go in the pile with the other one. Here are some very important things that I forgot to mention before we started shaving. First of all, I got a little scrap piece of fur here. Always go with the grain of the fur. Go with the nap. The nap is the direction in which the fur lays naturally. So in this case, it would be up. So as you saw me shaving, I was going slowly up. Also, don't dig your razor into the fur because you're going to create bald spots, and that's just not a good time. Here's what happens when you shave against the grain of the fur. You get that horrible noise and you know that you've done something wrong. Also, it looks really choppy and not good, and just don't do it. Just go with the grain of the fur and you'll be fine. Go in little strokes, don't go too hard, don't be digging your razor into there, and you'll be alright. A wild Tom appeared!